you want it fine. Better watch out if you want it fine.
Mic on.
Better watch out if you're mortified. Welcome back, Odds and Ensers, to Odds and Ends Gaming. I, of course, am Espionage DB7, the one, the only highly rated, armor-plated, imitated, but never ever duplicated one. And today we're having ourselves, I should say, a nice Saturday night chill stream, what I like to call. Still part of Oddities and Endtrails right here on Odds and Ends Gaming. Before we go any further, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It's only right here on Odds and Ends Gaming. Whether you're watching us on Twitch or YouTube or anywhere else, it's only right here on Odds and Ends Gaming, where you can get stuff like our month-long Halloween celebration, our weekly podcast, Shoot the Shit Saturday, our Fallback Fridays, which are coming back in November, our movie nights, and so much more, reviews, top 10 countdowns, all of that. So it's only right here on Odds and Ends Gaming where you can get all of that, and it's only right here where you can get me, your favorite streamer, Espionage DB7. So today, we're doing Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. I have very, very fond memories of this game. This game, I'd say it's more creepy than it is scary, more horrific than it is horrifying. I'm a fan of these Sherlock Holmes games. I've actually played Sherlock Holmes versus Arsène Lupin, Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper, Sherlock Holmes, The Testament of Sherlock Holmes, and Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishment. But I've never actually streamed one of them for the channel, and I thought, Oddities and Endtrails is here. It's a good time to do it. Very creepy ambience, just, not exactly like a jump scare around every corner type game. But let's go ahead and start a brand new game here. Bear with me just a second. Just want to make sure I get things in order here. Alright, new game, yes.
Mic off.
In the name of my health and yours, Holmes, stop smoking so much. There is more fog in our apartment than in the street.
You are right, Watson, but this evening is never ending, and I have nothing to do but make smoke rings. A more amusing pastime would suit better, but my doctor is against it.
Perhaps a little tune on the violin.
My heart is not in it tonight, Watson. Have you noticed how this cigarette burns? Would you not say it is like a life being consumed? How many lives will end tonight in London? How many crimes will be committed within the life of a single cigarette? Ah, the vanity of existence. It is but complaints and smoke, the meagre panache of its sickly soul.
The tobacco is giving you very somber thoughts. I am certain that this inactivity will not last. Let's retire. You'll be in better humour tomorrow.
Reason speaks. Let's to bed.
Mic on.
The meager panache of its sickly soul. I like that. Let's to bed. But while we to bed, what's happening on the dark, dimly lit streets of White Castle? What grim brutes, beasts, and monsters lurk in its shadows? Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Only the dregs are out at night on the streets of Whitechapel. And among them is one with a certain proclivity for carving tools.
Come this way, my lovely. We'll have a right good time. Wait, let me help you. Oh, it's my hair that pleases you.
Definitely think it's something else that leads us in.
The news is as dark as the sky, Holmes. An inquest has been opened into the murder of a poor woman in the East End. The unfortunate girl was discovered last night, lying in the street, still warm. The murderer was filled with an incredible savagery. Oh, the article gave me shivers down my spine. The inspectors in charge of the case don't seem to have even the slightest lead. A similar murder took place less than a month ago.
Ah, love. A romantic walk, a kiss in the moonlight, a polite refusal, a terrible anger, and a hanging.
This area of Whitechapel is a disgrace to London. The government should take serious note of what is going on there.
Whitechapel? This woman was found in Whitechapel?
Yes, indeed. Bucks Row, to be specific.
Then it was not a question of romance, but of commerce. Unless these women actually take pleasure in the vice, the female nature is completely...
Holmes, do you hear yourself? A woman is dead under unspeakable circumstances. No less than any other, she was a human and one of Her Majesty's subjects. None of these streetwalkers of which you speak have any other way to survive but by selling their bodies. You know as well as I that our era is not a gentle one, and these women don't have much to look forward to. Some grace, if you would. Do not refuse them your compassion.
Do not say another word, my dear Watson. We shall leave immediately for Whitechapel.
To the scene of the crime?
No, I think it would be better to arrive there a bit later once night has fallen. At the moment, the spot will be overrun by police officers and spectators. It would be impossible to investigate properly.
Then where are we going, Holmes?
The best thing to do would be to head to the police station and attempt to get a copy of the preliminary reports.
But the article in the Star seemed quite complete to me.
You must know, Watson, that journalists often draw conclusions from the facts without a proper understanding of how to do this delicate task. We must obtain the reports from the inspector in charge, as well as those from the coroner.
Very well, Holmes, but all the same.
It seems to me that I have a map of London somewhere, Watson. Can you find it and locate Whitechapel while I get ready?
You are too kind, Holmes. Searching through your mess?
Elementary, my dear Watson. The game is afoot! Alright, so... let's read this article, shall we? Special edition, the Whitechapel Horror, the third crime of a man who must be a maniac. Woman lured to by streets to be butchered. The latest victim identified. Opening of the inquest, great local excitement. The victim of the latest Whitechapel horror, the woman who was found yesterday morning in Bucks Row, was completely disemboweled and with her head nearly gashed from her body, was for a time completely unknown. As the news of the murder spread, however, first one woman and then another came forward to view the body, and at length it was found that a woman answering the description of the murdered woman had lodged in a common lodging house, 18 Thrall Street, Spitalfields. Women from that place were fetched and they identified the deceased as Polly, who had shared a room with 3 other women in the place. Let's see. On the usual terms of such houses, nightly payment of 4D each woman having a separate bed. It was... am I reading that right? Holly shared a woman with three other women in the place in the place late as 2:30 on Friday morning. I guess I go over here. It's kind of weird the formatting of this. On the usual terms of such house, nightly payment of 4D. I think that's wrong. It doesn't. Neither of these make sense. each woman having a separate bed. It was gathered that the deceased had led a life of an unfortunate while lodging in the house, which was only for about 3 weeks past. Nothing more was known of her by them, but that when she presented herself for her lodging on Thursday night, she was turned away by the deputy because she had not the money. She was then the worse for drink, but not drunk, and turned away laughing, saying, I'll soon get what my DOS money. See what a jolly bonnet I've got now. She was wearing a bonnet which she had not been seen with before, and left the lodging house door. A woman of the neighborhood saw her later. She told the police, even as late as 2:30 on Friday morning in Whitechapel Road. Late as 2:30 on Friday morning in Whitechapel. Okay, that's where we continue. Whitechapel Road, opposite of the church, and at the corner of Osborne Street. And at 3:45, she was found within 500 yards of the spot murdered. The people of the lodging house knew her as Polly, but at about 7:30 last evening, a woman named Mary Ann Monk, at present an inmate of Lambeth Workhouse, was taken to the mortuary and identified the body as that of Mary Ann Nickolas, also called Polly Nickolas. She knew her, she said. They were inmates of the Lambeth Workhouse together in April and May last, the deceased having been passed there from another workhouse. On the 12th of May, according to Monk, Nickolas left the workhouse to take a situation as a servant at Ingleside, Wandsworth Common. It afterwards, the formatting and the vernacular of this is throwing me off. It's just so weird, but I guess they're trying to remain faithful to the period, the writing of the period. It afterwards became known that Nickolas betrayed her trust as domestic servant by stealing £3 from her employer and absconding. From that time, she had been wandering about. Monk met her, she said, about 6 weeks ago when herself out of the workhouse and drank with her. Yeah, this is so weird, the formatting and the way they write this. She was sure the deceased was Polly Nickolas, and having twice viewed the features as her body lay in a shell, maintained her opinion. There is a terribly significant similarity between this ghastly crime and the two mysterious murders of the women which have occurred in the same district within the last 3 months. In each case, the victim has been a woman of abandoned character. Each crime has been committed in the dark hours of the morning, and more important still, as pointing to one man, and that man a maniac, being the culprit. Each murder has been accompanied by hideous mutilation. In the second case, that of the woman Martha Turner, it will be remembered that no fewer than 30 stabs were inflicted. The scene of this murder was George Yard, a place appropriately known locally as the slaughterhouse. As in both other cases, there was in this not the slightest clue to the murderer. No one was known to have any motives for causing the woman's death. She was parted from her husband and had lived with a man named Turner, but the searching coroner's inquiry revealed nothing connecting either with the crime. This is a long article. It was fancied that some of her many wounds had been caused by a bayonet, and she was said to have been seen with a soldier shortly before her death. Some soldiers were paraded at the tower, and one was said to have been identified by a policeman as having been waiting about George Yard. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and you can see, if you want to read it, you can pause the screen. I honestly feel like this is just like filler information, and I want to get on with the game here. Hang on. There's a way. Okay, yeah, I prefer first-person mode. Pressing caps lock or left shift. Okay. Cool. Space lets me see what I can examine.
Holmes's experiment table.
Let's go ahead and look around here.
The Adventure of the Dancing Men. I remember it well.
The Adventure of the Dancing Men. Victoria Regina.
The Queen's initials done in bullet holes. Good old Holmes.
Good old Holmes.
Well, well, Holmes has received some French champagne with a card, a gift from a young admirer, signed Raoul d'Andrecy. Who on earth could that be?
That's the map of Whitechapel. I don't want to pick that up yet. I want to finish exploring the room. Holmes's violin.
Holmes's violin. He doesn't play nearly enough, if you ask me. Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic dialect of Cornwall. And here, medieval pottery. How can Holmes possibly read such things? This is the coal bucket in which Holmes keeps his cigars. What a funny idea. This is how Holmes stores his post. Thank goodness his clients don't see this.
There's a method to his madness. Let's get through here. What the hell?
Holmes uses this old Persian slipper to hold his pipe tobacco. Colonel Gordon, during the last adventure of the resident patient. Switzerland, a charming country. Perhaps Holmes and I shall investigate one day. This is the harpoon that pierced the sailor Peter the Black. Bizarre little relic.
I investigated everything there that there's to look at. Looks like it. Let's see. Let's go into the room here.
Have you found the map of London, Watson? Come, my friend, it can't be too far. Be sure to locate the police station in Whitechapel we must get to.
Understood, Holmes.
Wrong door. I thought that was my room. This is my room over here. It doesn't look like there's anything noteworthy in here. Oh, time to grab the map.
A map of London, at last. Let's see. The district of Whitechapel.
Alright, so this would be the district of Whitechapel. And we're looking for the police station.
I found the map, Holmes, and I was able to locate the Whitechapel police station.
Congratulations, Watson. Come, the game is afoot. You can read the article to me on the way.
The game is afoot.
We have arrived, Watson, in Whitechapel.
Not very bright, and what cold! Brr, a typical London morning.
Come, Watson, let's find this police station.
Well, I mean, there's not much finding. It's right here. Alright. Time to talk to Lestrade.
Well, this station isn't very well kept, I say.
It's a local outpost, Watson. The daily tasks that confront these constables are not the easiest, and they are poorly paid.
What do we have here?
Look, a suspect description. Michael Ostrog, wanted for questioning. Dangerous.
Indeed.
This police station is like a laundry. What a scandal.
No, I didn't mean to go out. I meant to talk to Watson.
What are we doing, Holmes?
I don't know, Watson. What are you doing? Stop following me.
What do you think, Holmes? These archives are impressive. I bet they have been carefully conserved, classified and indexed in order to follow the evolution of criminality in this area with extreme precision. Wouldn't you say, Holmes?
Given their condition, more likely for lighting the furnace, Watson.
Yeah, Yeah, what the hell's wrong with you? Alright, let's talk to this guy.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello, I would like to speak with the Chief Inspector, if you please.
Constable Humphreys here. I am the only one in at the moment. What do you want with the chief?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am...
Sherlock Holmes? The detective that I read about in the papers? Well, that's a treat, that is. You come about the Buck Road case, have you? Indeed, we...
Not at all. We were just passing by chance. You say that there was a crime recently.
You don't know? You must be the only folk
shut
in
up,
London
Watson.
who haven't heard.
It won't be long until you find the culprit, no doubt.
Nothing is less certain. Suspects 0. Clues 0. It's not good for us, especially not in this district.
Tell me about the report.
Listen, this isn't what I came here for, but if I can be of service, in a confidential capacity, of course, if you can entrust me with a copy of the preliminary reports, I could study them and return later with my conclusions.
It's just that these are official documents. I can't take a decision like that without the inspectors. The sooner we know the facts in the file, the sooner we can be of help, my friend. Say, if you are Sherlock Holmes, you can find anything, isn't that true? With your magnifying glass, footprints.
My performance is often embellished by my biographer.
Ah, good. Good. I will give you the reports, but could you do me a small favour first? During my rounds, I dropped a leather folder containing some papers. Nothing of importance, but it's a big mistake. I would go looking for it myself, but I am stuck here on duty. I must
Leather
have
folder.
lost it near the seedy boarding house not far from here. Left when you leave the courtyard and left again in the lane. Perhaps you could go, ask around.
Alright, goodbye.
We shall see what we can do. Are we going to go look for these documents?
Why not? It'll give us an occasion to take a tour of the district, Watson.
What shall we do, Holmes?
What should we do, Holmes? What is it?
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
Oh, it's so cold. Come, come. Let's warm up.
Get away from me, you skank.
Excuse me, my good man.
We don't much like people with your looks round here. Understood?
And what's that supposed to mean? What is it about my looks? It's Watson, isn't it? Damn it, Watson.
I have nothing to ask.
Drunken old bat.
You're in a rush, my pretty. Come, I'll have you done so quickly you'll only have time to pay.
That doesn't sound like a good sales offer, you know. Alright, she'll see. He said left in the alley and then left again. Which would be. Is that a door? Oh, okay, over there. I don't think these people know anything. Ah, the London fog.
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
This area is shameful, don't you think?
It's not the information I was looking for, pal. Alright, so it should be in here somewhere. There's a cop. Let me ask that guy.
Excuse me, my good man.
Nasty weather, eh?
Okay, so that got us nowhere. Maybe I should just be looking. It said seedy boarding house. This guy?
Good day, sir. You wouldn't happen to have seen a leather folder on the ground around here, would you?
Good day, gentlemen. Finley, caretaker of this building. Here to serve. And yes, less than an hour ago. But some of the local urchins picked it up and God only knows where it might be now.
Oh, great.
That's unfortunate. This police bag contained documents that the local police will miss.
Your inspectors?
Not at all. I am Dr. Watson, and this is Sherlock Holmes, the detective.
Sherlock Holmes, the great detective. You must be here about last night's murder. Have you discovered the identity of the poor woman?
Indeed, I'd only to read the papers.
Mine is dated from this morning, and it does not say who it is.
I'm not really engaged in this case, but if I can help the police, I will do so willingly.
Oh, to be sure. I've been told that Inspector Aberline is in charge. A very
Aberline.
capable man.
So, according to you, I have no chance of finding this folder then?
Indeed. But I, on the other hand, should be able to find it. Do me a favour in exchange. A vagrant comes almost every night to sleep in one of the nooks not far from my windows. He coughs, howls, sometimes even sings. He's quite hefty and I don't dare approach him. I've lost 3 tenants because of him. If it's you who speaks to the police, they will take this matter more seriously. Tell them about the captain. They'll know who you're talking about. In the meantime, I'll find your police bag.
What's this? Alright, so here's what I'm going to do for documents like this, because these are lengthy. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time reading through them. I'll leave it here for a moment, and you guys can pause if it's something that you want to read. Otherwise, if it's something I need to come back to, I'll kind of skim through it. But here's page 1. Here's page 2. And here's page 3. Alright.
Let's go to the police station.
I don't think there's anything to do up here. I guess. Back to the police station. What's that? We got some things to investigate here. Ah.
Commercial Street.
Oh, it's just the names of the streets.
Burner Street.
So this is commercial and this is burner.
Burner Street.
It's just, yeah, all of these are just names.
Burner Street.
Commercial, burner, blah, blah, blah.
So, gentlemen, have you found my police bag?
It's as good as found.
Not quite yet. Do you know a vagrant who goes by the name of the Captain?
Captain? Yes, an old sailor, strong as a Turk and tattooed from head to toe. The drink has turned him into a derelict.
He appears to be causing some problems for the caretaker of the building at the end of the street.
What do you want us to do? Every night, stairwells, halls and porches become public dormitories, and people don't only come to sleep. I believe this man has a niece who puts him up sometimes. Her lodgings are in Commercial Street, right after the alley with the boarding house. You won't forget my folder, will you?
Hey. Well, first part is errands.
Do you believe this woman will agree to have her uncle stay with her?
No idea. Oh well, let's go see her just the same.
The Commercial Street, the alley after the boarding house. Let's see. I had. Oh, these are just the dialogues. Items. Documents. Notes. Map. Alright, so this is the first alley. I guess we're looking for...
There. This is where the niece of the captain must live.
Now she's gonna ask me to get her like a pound of apricots or something for her to take the uncle, and then I'm gonna have to go find a guy with apricots, and he's gonna ask me to find, you know, a fucking Rhode Island red rooster in order to do that. So I'm gonna have to travel all the way to America to...
Good day, miss. Would you happen to be the niece of the man known as the Captain?
Oh, yes, that would be me. What has he done this time? He isn't... Oh my God, I'm on my way.
Busty young lady, isn't she?
Miss, we have come to ask if you could have your uncle come live with you. He sleeps under the windows of its boarding house, causes the caretaker no end of problems.
I know. I've lodged him for a while, and he was the same here. My landlord made me kick him out. I'm ashamed, you know. I never should have, given the state of his health. It coughs day and night.
There might be a way to calm his cough. I am a doctor. I could examine him.
You went to see a doctor at the clinic, but the medicine costs too much. I can hardly pay my rent.
We will see to it. Where might your uncle be found?
I don't know. He must be in the vicinity, but I don't know exactly where.
We will find him.
Holmes, this is serious. Find an alcoholic in Whitechapel? A needle in a haystack would be easier.
Come, dear doctor, let's trust to our lucky star. Moreover, we also have our informers, remember?
Are you referring to those brats? To
The
whom you are
Baker
always
Street,
giving
what are they called?
charity?
The Baker Street regulars?
My secret police. Some of them must surely roam in this area. It suffices to find them.
What does he call the kids? The Baker Street regulars or something like that? I don't remember the name. Hello, young man. Oh.
Hello, young man. How are you?
I recognize him. It's the lad who sells newspapers, who is always calling outside our windows at Baker Street, early in the morning.
Hello, Mr. Holmes. It's a treat to see you again. What can I do?
Would you happen to know an old sailor who goes by the name of the Captain? A poor man who hits the bottle a bit hard.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. He's there at the end of the street. Round to the left he is. But be careful. He can be a tough customer, that one.
Very good, my young man. The doctor will give you a little something. Watson?
Huh? I say, Holmes.
Is he always such a skinflint with you, Mr. Holmes? Well, thanks to you, Mr. Holmes. Anytime you need me.
Alright, he said down the street and to the left.
Batty Street.
I guess he means this street. Stop being such a skinflint, Watson. Is that the guy right here?
Come, my lord. A little coin. Oi!
Oi! I guess that wasn't the guy.
I can hear someone coughing more than is natural, Holmes.
Yes, Watson. The poor man cannot be too far away.
I guess it's gotta be this guy right here.
If, in
What's
order
he
to
got?
listen to us, this man imposes as condition that we find his pet cockroach, there will be another murder in Whitechapel today, Watson. Yours.
Ah! He is in a critical state, Holmes. He has barely a month left.
Is there a way, dear doctor, to ensure that this last month passes in silence?
Really, Holmes?
Wow.
Sometimes you... Oh, really? I will make note of some medicine to get immediately that will relieve his pain.
Very well. I will locate an apothecary or a clinic.
Damn. Fucking Holmes is cold-blooded, man. Ice cold.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste. Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
Alright, so... What do we got here? Lucy's lodgings, boarding house, clinic. Oh, I can fast travel. I don't want to do that though. I didn't know. I thought I thought clicking on it would have sent me a waypoint. I don't want to. At least not yet. I want a chance to explore a little bit, so I'm not gonna be fast traveling. All right, so I'm here. To get there, it's not far. Just go all the way to the end, and then take a left, and then a right. It should lead me straight to the clinic. Yeah, I want a chance to explore a little bit. I mean, the graphics aren't much, but still. I remember when I first played this. I played it when it first came out in 2009.
Commercial Street.
I was dug into this game. As a matter of fact, Mr. Coffee, if he's watching, or if you're watching after the fact, Mr. Coffee could give you some funny stories of what happened in this game. I used to be a huge into World of Warcraft at the time, but when this game came out, I got so obsessed with it that I stopped playing World of Warcraft. And my then girlfriend at the time, who was big into World of Warcraft herself, she never had me around to tank for her. I was always the tank, and she would get pissed off because I was playing that stupid Sherlock Holmes game. Who's this?
I have nothing to ask. Closed.
Closed. So not there. I think.
I have no reason to go that way.
Oh, okay. Ah, okay, yes. Left and then right. I think this is the way. I think this should be the clinic right here. Yep.
I have nothing to ask.
He's up on the bottom, huh? Dispensary.
This building is a clinic.
Is there a doctor? Oh, there you are.
Good day, sir. Dr. Gibbons. You aren't from around these parts.
Indeed, Doctor. It is for someone from your neighborhood that I am here, though. His doctor asked that I acquire some medicine on his behalf. I have the note here.
Dr. Watson? Not from round here neither. This medication is quite dear. Certain documents are necessary to obtain them for free.
I don't have it. You'll have to accept my spare change. Will it be enough?
Enough to relieve your patient for a month. Would you like me to make this prescription available after that time?
According to Dr. Watson, that won't be necessary.
The possibility of a recovery?
A definitive one, yes.
There, sir.
Thank you.
A recovery into the afterlife.
It's rather quiet here.
An unusual chain of events. The majority of the people hereabouts went out last night to see the great fire at the warehouse. The patients that I was minding and my staff were no exception. The former were dramatically healed, and the latter ended up sick. And with the murder last night, most of the people who weren't working wandered over to the scene of the crime. Their little aches and pains will wait until tonight or tomorrow.
A squalid murder, it would seem.
Just like what this area has become.
Squalid.
My thanks, Doctor.
Not at all.
Alright, I got the medicine. Time to give it back to that guy so he can shut up and die in silence. As Holmes put it in not so many words. Oh, there goes the horse.
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
If it's to file a complaint, you should go to the station.
Wow, what a cop you are. Right, that was on Batty Street, right? What is it? Batty Street, yes.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
I have
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
Fuck, I have to equip it, don't I? Yeah, there we go.
Here is the medication, Watson. Is our man movable?
He should be able to stand in a few minutes and will no longer be suffering from his cough before long.
Consider the affair resolved. Accompany him to his niece's while I return to the boarding house, and then join me at the police station. Let's return to the boarding house.
Man, Watson got him out of here in a hurry.
I have nothing to ask.
Nope, wrong way. No, wait, that is where I'm supposed to go. Boarding house, not the police station.
I have good news for you, Mr. Finley. We have sent the captain to stay with a relative, and he shouldn't bother you for a while.
I also
Whatever.
have some good news. I have your police bag.
Thank you. I bid you good day.
Oh, it was nothing. Tell me, one of my wife's friends lost...
Another day, Finley. Another day. Let's go to the police station.
I'm already working a case, Finley. And whatever your wife lost, I'm sure it's beneath me. Why is this little kid talking to a prostitute?
No time to talk, Governor. I've done my keep.
Earn your keep.
I have nothing to ask.
What the hell are you doing, kid? To earn your keep.
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
Ah, misery is a terrible thing.
But it loves company.
So, what news do you have, Mr. Holmes? So, what news do you have, Mr. Holmes?
Keep forgetting. I have to equip stuff before I talk to people.
Are you sure it's the police bag that you lost?
Yes, but someone attempted to force it open. They didn't succeed, but now the lock is stuck. Perhaps you could...
Let's see.
Ah, the first puzzle. Fuck. What the hell is... Ah, I know what I'm supposed to do. So it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3.
All done.
Ah, there we go.
A big thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Think nothing of it, my friend. So, the reports.
Why don't you wait till the inspectors get back? You would certainly learn more.
If I wanted to meet the inspectors, I would have done so. So, give me the preliminary reports, and above all, do not mention my visit to anyone. Is that clear?
Sure, if that's what you want. Here are the reports.
Thank you.
Alright, preliminary report. Death of Polly Nickolas, 31, August 1888. Autopsy report by Dr. Henry Llewellyn, surgeon. Her throat had been cut from left to right, 2 distinct cuts being on the left side, the windpipe, the gullet, and the spinal cord being cut through. A bruise, apparently of a thumb, being on the right lower jaw, also one on the left cheek. The stranglehold. The abdomen had been cut open from the center of the bottom of the ribs, the along right side. That is such a weird way to write. The along right instead of along the right side.
Big Matt 62.
The along right side.
Said, "Damn you, Razor."
Damn you, Razor. What's up, Big Matt? How's it going? Having myself a chill Saturday night live stream. Playing an old favorite of mine, Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. It's a bit of a puzzle game, but very creepy ambience, and trying to fucking hunt down Jack the Ripper. Hope you're doing well this evening, sir. Hope you're having a happy October, happy Halloween. Let's see, where was I? Under the pelvis to the left of the stomach. There, the wound was jagged. The omentum, or coating of the stomach, was also cut in several places, and 2 small stabs on private parts, apparently done with a strong bladed knife, supposed to have been done by some left-handed person, death being almost instantaneous. Well, at least she didn't suffer through all that. My God, what a butchering. Alright.
Big Matt 62.
Have you obtained the preliminary
Said,
reports?
Yes.
Nice.
On the go.
We're playing
Let's to the scene
Castlevania
of the crime
Advanced
at
Collection.
Bucks Row, Watson.
Perfect for October.
Dude, I've played several of the Castlevania games. I love the Castlevania music, but I've never beaten a single one. We're bringing back Fallback Friday in November, so Castlevania would be a great game or games to do. But yeah, man, enjoy, and thanks for stopping by the stream for sure. We appreciate it. What was the last dialogue? I did not.
Big Matt 62. Said, "Definitely, man. You need to, and no problem."
Hey, real quick, Big Matt. I was thinking I have to see how much I make, but at some point before Halloween, I was thinking about dropping by your place and maybe getting your your kids some candy or something. It's been a while since I've seen them. I wouldn't mind. Would that be all right? No guarantees that I'll be able to. I have to see, make sure how much I get paid and stuff. But I definitely miss seeing, your kids. They were always, I love your kids. So I just wanted to, if I drop by with like maybe some candy or something, some Halloween candy, if that'd be all right. To go to the scene of the crime. Where's that at? Map of Whitechapel. Scene of Polly Nickolas' murder. Okay, so it's past.
Fluffy Bams said, "What did I walk into?"
You didn't walk into anything. Stop trying to make it something out of nothing. I've known Big Man 62 for years, and I basically watched his kids grow up. I held his kids as a baby. There's nothing weird here, Fluffy Bams. But welcome to the stream. Is this the scene of the murder? Where am I? Yeah, it looks like this is the scene here. Is it? Aha! Here we are. Yep,
What are all
like
these people doing here, Holmes?
Apparently they came to see the scene of the crime.
What about us? Aren't we going to see it?
We will return this evening, Watson. The circumstances should be ideal for carrying out our little experiments. Well, Watson, we are at the scene of the Polly Nickolas murder. Imagine the victim lying at the spot where she was found.
Get it together,
and try
Sherlock.
to discern all of the clues we can. Watson, you are a writer. I am therefore entrusting you with our deduction board. It will help us to establish certain facts.
Understood, Holmes.
I'm getting it together. Oh.
The body was lying on its back, legs straightened slightly apart. The skirt had been lifted up to the middle of the body. The left hand was touching the barn door.
Corpse was still warm.
The body was still warm. Let's reread the preliminary report for the details on the wounds inflicted upon this poor woman.
Alright.
Fluffy Bams said, "So what you think about New World ESP?"
New World? I'm not sure what that is, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what New World is. Her throat had been cut from left to right through two distinct cuts on the left side, the windpipe, gullet, and the spinal cord being cut through. A bruise apparently at the jaw being on the lower right cheek, also one on the left cheek where she was strangled. The abdomen had been cut open from the center of the bottom of the ribs along the right side. Under the pelvis to the left of the stomach, there the wound was jagged. The omentum, or coating of the stomach, was also cut in several places, and two small stabs on the private parts, apparently done with a strong bladed knife, supposed to have been done by some left-handed person, death being almost instantaneous.
No marks on the ground. The ground is muddy.
No marks on the ground. Ground is muddy.
Let's look at this poor woman more closely. The throat was slit from left to right. There are 2 incisions.
So one slit there, and another one started halfway there. There's also a bruise.
There is a bruise at the level of the right maxilla.
Swollen tongue.
The tongue is swollen. A small pool of blood, 6 inches in diameter.
Fluffy Bams said, "You sir, make me sad. New World, that new MMO by Amazon."
I hadn't even heard about it. I'd be willing to check it out though. Is it free?
There's a bruise on the left cheek.
So this is where he put his hand. His 4 fingers were here as he covered her mouth and held his thumb to her left cheek here.
The throat was slit from left.
I already saw that. Nothing about the cut dress.
There is a black bonnet near the left hand. No signs of blood.
That means that the cutting started when she was already on the floor. What else we got here?
Buck's Row. There is only one streetlight lit on this street, Watson, and this spot is particularly poorly lit.
This spot is deserted, Holmes. The prostitutes only come here to exercise.
Well, Watson, we have found all of the possible clues, I think. We will now attempt to recreate the scene of the murder. Come closer, Watson. I have to make you up.
Make you up?
You are joking, Holmes? I feel ridiculous, Holmes.
Now, Watson, come and stand here in front of me. You shall play the role of the poor woman, and I shall play that of the murderer. Let's try to reconstruct the facts to ensure the final result corresponds indisputably to the way that Polly Nickolas was killed.
Exercise.
Yep, they come and do their workout here. Alright, so... Fuck, I don't remember how to do this. Alright, so they started in a standing position. And first thing he grabbed by his hands. Standing position, grabbed her by the hand. Can I rotate this? It would have been the left hand, not the right hand. No, he would have been in front. Let's see.
This position is unlikely.
Maybe it was the other hand. Let's try that.
Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Yes, okay, so I had the hand switch. Ah, okay, that's how I rotate. Cool. Ah, okay. Yeah, he grabbed her with that hand. That's why that's on there. Okay. Let's go back to our deduction board. Alright, let's see if we can piece this together now. No footsteps on the ground. I don't remember how to do these deduction board things. Do I just match up the colors? Tongue is bloated. Ah, okay. The victim wasn't dragged, which means that's why the corpse was still warm. There were no footsteps on the ground. The murderer cut her open. I'm still missing something. The tongue is bloated. She was strangled. Okay. The victim has a bruise on the right jawbone, means the murderer beat... no. Alright, the victim had a bruise. Murderer beat the victim. The bruise was caused by hard pressure. Killer's right hand prevented the victim from screaming. Was it the right hand or... yeah, it was the right hand, wasn't it? There were relations while standing up. No, it's the right hand. No. It was the left hand. Killer strangled the victim with his right hand and prevented her from screaming with his left. Is that right? Did I? No. If I had gotten it, it would have solved. So I'm missing something here. I got these right. Something here is not adding up. So the victim had a bruise on the right jawbone. That means standing in front of me, right jawbone. Would have done that with his left hand. That would have been done with the pressure by the fingers. He didn't beat her. He gagged her by gripping tightly. He was standing in. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? Let me think here. So he stood in front of her. This section here should lead to one down here. So I'm obviously missing something. What the hell? It seems right, it feels right, but there's obviously something. What is up here? Oh fuck! There. Oh, maybe that's what I'm. Maybe that's where I'm wrong. There's a whole other page. No, but it was the killer's left hand.
Fluffy Bams said, throat slit from left to right, not linked to anything?
That's what I'm trying to figure out too, but I don't know if maybe it's because I hadn't this is 2 out of 2 I just noticed. There's a whole other deduction board that I have to try to figure out. He gagged her with the left hand, strangled her with the right. But let's go ahead and go up here. Maybe this is where I'm wrong. Poorly lit street. No traces of blood on the walls. Dirty and damp ground. The dirty and damp ground. Not have relations on the ground. He could not have relations on the ground. Black bonnet was near the left hand. Yeah, black bonnet was near the left hand. It was a poorly lit street. The prostitutes only go down the street to exercise. The victim was holding her bonnet in the hand at the time of the murder. Bonnet was already in the ground. Yeah, she was holding her hand. Okay, the victim was asking for alms. The victim wasn't afraid. Yeah, the victim wasn't afraid. Nickolas wasn't cautious. Nickolas didn't have a bonnet. Had her bonnet in her hand and was ready to exercise. Yep, so that's green. So that one adds up. There's a little pool of blood. Okay, so no traces of blood on the walls, and the victim had her throat slit. That means he cut her when she was already on the ground. The wall was washed. The killer slit the victim's throat quietly. The victim didn't have her throat slit while standing. Okay, there was a little pool of blood. Blood spurted. She was already dead. The murder. Blood didn't flow in strong spurts because she was already dead. Okay, victim didn't have her throat slit while standing. The blood didn't flow in strong spurts. He could not have relations on the ground. Nickolas wasn't killed here. Nickolas was dead before being stretched out and having her throat slit. Okay. Alright, so those are right. So yeah, it's down here that something is not adding up. Okay, the victim has a bruise on her right jawbone. Let's go ahead and take another look at the body. Where's that at? Can I do that again? Alright. So left hand gagging, right hand strangling. Left hand gags, right hand strangles. That would explain these multiple bruises on the left side and the single
Joel 56
bruise on the right.
Said, "All right, fill me in. I'm a great detective."
Oh, I'm already trying to figure this out. So basically I'm just trying to figure out the position in which the first victim died. So we kind of recreated the motions here. Gagged her with the left hand, strangled with the right. Okay. You know what? Let's switch to the lying down position here. Okay, so here, once lying down,
Fluffy Bams
he then used the knife.
Said, "He is going to need help. It's ESP."
Shut up. I played and beaten many detective games. I'm actually a big fan of the Sherlock Holmes series. So he would have used his left hand. And would he have gone for the stomach first, or would he have gone for the throat? I think he would have gone for the throat first. No, not like that. Not like that either, I don't think.
The murderer had enough room to inflict the wounds to the neck, and these wounds suggest the left hand was used.
Okay.
My dear Watson, now that we have found all of our clues, nothing remains but to subject them to our most likely hypotheses in order to deduce the facts.
Alright, so I have this one is in place. Oh, okay, I was missing this. The murderer must have been sitting on the victim in the left. Sitting on the victim, knife in the left hand or
Fluffy
right.
Bams said, "He has been on this for 49 minutes. Poor guy is delusional."
First of all, I haven't spent 49 minutes doing this
said,
part.
"A bruise that black wouldn't be from squeezing. That was caused by some amount of force. But this is a video game."
Dude, you can get bruises like this. Somebody's strong enough, you can get bruises like that from a squeeze, believe me. I know. Because I've known people who were victims of abuse, and I know what it can do. I think he's left-handed. This has got to be it. No. Murder is right-handed or big man. He's a strong man.
The victim was most probably dead before being laid down. Once the heart stopped, gravity drained the body slowly, not in a heavy spurt that would have stained half the street.
Thank you, Holmes. I understand why you told me not to change clothes. Do you realize that our behavior didn't alarm anyone?
The victim's ordeal was even more discreet. By acting in silence, we have confirmed something. The crime definitely took place here. The victim and her murderer were able to come here
Fluffy
without
Bams
making any noise, and
said,
afterwards the murder took
has to
place
be
without the
ends up
slightest
wrong.
cry being uttered.
ESP,
Come, Watson,
just
let's
give
go
it up.
home. We have spent far too long in this sinister alley.
Dude, I just figured it out. I pieced the way the crime happened together.
The day and night which we passed in Whitechapel were enlightening, weren't they?
An adventure that I most certainly will never relate. To be in the skin of that poor woman. I prefer not to speak of it further. But have we really learned anything about the murderer? Obviously a man, given the necessary strength.
Joel
We have
56
little to go on, at least no more
said,
than the police. But in
fair,
my opinion,
but
Inspector
if the
Aberline
Vic doesn't
has a
have
trick or two
bruises
up
on
his
their
sleeve.
neck,
No,
then
I
that
want to
means
talk
they
about
are
the facts
absolutely
and what we can draw
left-handed,
from them.
because
We
they
know
were
where the crime
strangled.
was committed and under what conditions. I would like to ask you about the possible motives for the crime. According to you, Watson, what could have pushed the murderer to act in such a way?
What could possibly be the motives for the crime? Alright, let's see. This is... How do we do this? No, no, no. Revenge, love, death, madness, black magic. What do I do with this? Okay, so no.
Joel 56 said, with the right hand, which wasn't strong enough to bruise as such as the left.
Okay, so this is what I can move. I can change these to no, or yes or no, and I can move these. So let's start with the most obvious one. No, black magic. Victim lived in misery. Credible motive, even if it's a field that Sherlock doesn't know. What?
Black magic?
I'm not terribly interested in the occult or black magic. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to this motive.
So it wants me to change it to yes?
Black magic?
I'm not terribly...
Wow, okay, so yes. Madness. Suffered horrific mutilation. I'd say yes to madness.
Joel 56 said, mutilation would be vengeance.
Victim was an occasional prostitute without family ties. Actually, I'd put that as... No, well, let me see. The victim lived in misery. So theft would be... This would be theft, no.
Theft, perhaps.
I have a hard time believing that someone would attack poor Polly so fiercely just to rob her of a few coins.
Okay, so that one is no. Resentment can lead to irreparable acts. That'd be either love or revenge. Love or revenge. I think you're right. Revenge would be the mutilation part. No, but that could also fit under madness. The victim was an occasional prostitute without family or ties. Let's put that here.
A personal drama.
Love can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim didn't know her attacker.
Okay. Let's put yes to revenge.
Joel 56 said,
no.
I think resentment would be madness.
A
Pushed
personal
past
drama.
the breaking
Love
point.
can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim didn't know her attacker.
Let's see what happens if I put this here.
Homicidal insanity, Holmes.
It is indubitable that the man who did this to Polly Nickolas is not of his full senses.
So not for love, not for death, but again, I guess it's possible for madness, black magic, and revenge. That's what we're going to put.
Elementary.
Elementary.
Very well, Watson. I think that we've exhausted the topic. Take a rest and we'll speak again later.
Joel
It
56
would seem that the investigation is
said,
advancing, Holmes.
although,
Yesterday's
given the
Star
wording,
said that a suspect
it's possible
is in
I've
the
got
hands
that
of
wrong.
the police. A man with a rather sinister reputation.
I was about to join you in your optimistic outlook until you informed me that the good news came from the press, Watson.
But surely they wouldn't invent the fact that the police are holding a suspect.
Surely the press
or the
wouldn't
acts that are
invent
attributed
anything.
to him.
You will have an exact answer to these 2 questions in less than 50 seconds, Watson.
Pardon?
Enter, Inspector.
Joel
Good day.
56 said.
Dear
Anyway,
Watson, allow
how
me to
did
introduce
Outlast
Inspector
go?
Aberline, Inspector Dr.
Pretty good,
Watson.
actually.
Inspector,
I made
To
some
what
good
do we owe the
progress.
honor of your
Hope you'll check it
presence,
out.
Inspector.
I heard that the 2 of you made your way to Whitechapel a few days ago. Your arrival, you are aware, coincides with a very serious affair which our police service is going to great lengths to solve and which is creating strong tensions in the area.
Pardon me, but haven't you arrested someone? A certain Leather Apron?
Ah, Leather Apron, I
Absolutely
remember that.
not. The man who hides behind this name is indeed being actively searched for by the
Joel
force.
56
Besides, nothing
said,
at the moment suggests that
I
he is the
absolutely
Bucksrow
will.
murderer.
There, you've been enlightened.
I did have a
Watson.
scream.
Now it is our
I
turn
ain't gonna
to
lie, I
answer
did have a
Inspector
scream.
Aberline's questions.
Indeed. I will be brief.
And I'm not like
precise.
trying. I'm not like
Do you
forcing
intend
myself or
to
trying to have
investigate
these
this case,
shouts.
or
It
have you
just
already
I react,
started?
you know.
It is to be of service to a friend that I went to Whitechapel. We did, out of curiosity, familiarize ourselves with the preliminary reports, and we made our way to the scene
Joel
of the crime.
56
Our conclusions are slim,
said,
as are the clues.
So,
Having
we're
not been
at 11.
officially appointed by a client, I believe that my intervention in this business will end there.
Very well. To be frank, you take the weight off my shoulders by distancing yourself from the case. Our image isn't very good, to say nothing of what the press puts us through. Thus,
Joel
if
56
overnight they found out that you were on
said,
the case, people would turn
Did you
against
restart the game,
And they
or
would
did you
pester me,
pick up from
overwhelm me,
last
and
year?
Finally make
Picked
me
up from
out
last
to be
year.
responsible for the inevitable
Actually, from 2
failure
years ago.
such a scenario entails. Neither you nor I wish for this to happen. I know that your time is precious, Inspector. I will send you a note regarding my conclusions shortly.
With pleasure. Gentlemen?
Do you think that he will find the murderer?
The chances are slim to non-existent. It is 7 days now, short of a confession from the murderer himself.
And you will not go further?
You heard the Inspector, Watson. My presence in Whitechapel would hinder, which doesn't mean that we will drop the case.
How is that?
The Inspector
Joel
spoke
56
of me, but not of
said,
us. It
"Ah,
is
well,
you, Watson, who
meet
will
the
lead
doctor yet?"
investigation tonight.
The doctor that
It is
cuts off
you
my
who will
fingers?
bring to the police station the little note that I will write regarding our conclusions. Despite the late hour, there is nothing to stop you from making inquiries about this famous leather apron while you are there.
So I'm
Joel
basically
56 said, yes.
actually that in 2019
Joel 56
I met that doctor
said,
and was able to beat him. I got
Good
past
old
him.
Richie Tridger.
I got past him at the end of my last episode from 2 years ago. So when I started today, he was already dead, and I proceeded. I made my way through the fucking rainy, dark courtyard, which got freaky. All right, but it's been about an hour or so, maybe a little more than an hour. We managed to get the first deduction board and the first motive board finished. So I am gonna go ahead and wrap this up here, but I will be doing a Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper, as well as an Outlast live stream every Friday in October. Tomorrow on Saturdays I will be doing a Distraint live stream on top of whatever else we might do as a group. Mondays and Wednesdays you can expect an upload of Dead Space 3. Tuesdays and Thursdays expect an upload of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and Sundays expect an upload or a live stream, depending on what we decide to do, of Dead Rising 2 with me and Val. So basically every single day of the week we got content, coming your way. So be sure to subscribe. It's only right here on Odds and Ends Gaming that you find our month-long Oddities and Endtrails celebration. Really, look it up. You won't find Oddities and Endtrails anywhere else. So that's going to wrap it up here. I, of course, am Espionage DB7, the one, the only highly rated, armor-plated, imitated, but never ever duplicated. And, yeah, just follow us on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like. Leave a comment on what you want to see played. Most importantly, settle down. Settle down. Everybody, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Have a great Friday evening and a wonderful Saturday and Sunday. Take care and be safe.